Sooner Nation, Thunder Nation, we are back. Literally, we are back as we now do an immediate emergency celebratory podcast after OU defeats Michigan 24-13 in the final tonight. What a game, what an atmosphere. Jared, how we feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. That was I'm not gonna lie, that second half was a little nerve-wracking. Felt good in the first, and then the second one started to get a little nervous, but they pull it out.
Yeah, a little bit. As we were all kind of texting and messaging in the Discord back and forth, I mean, I just kind of kept saying over and over again, we cannot let them keep hanging around. We cannot let them keep hanging around. And yet they just did over and over. Although, as I put out a little bit earlier on Twitter, I mean, you lose the turnover battle. Part of that was muffing a punt. You muff a kickoff that pins you inside the 10-yard line on your own end. You rough a kicker in the middle of it all to give them life and let them go down and get more points. You drop a touchdown pass. You drop a third down conversion pass. I mean, like the amount of things that OU kind of did to themselves, and I don't want to take credit away from Michigan. I thought they played really, really well, but like just so much Oklahoma could have done to try to stretch that game out more, and you still come out with the victory was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some things. As much as it is a nice feeling to beat a team like Michigan, a lot of things to clean up. Um, it's really a weird game, honestly. Now that I like kind of am out of the hype of just getting a win. Um, well, but I mean, you have on one hand you have the defense played phenomenal.
Yeah,
Mateer
dialed
played
in.
a really good game. He has some things he needs to clean up, but the throw that he made that on the run to Satania, I like
Oh,
that was
gorgeous.
incredible.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously special teams, just I don't even know what we're doing. That was like high school football level of
Oof.
mess ups. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I feel really good about the team, but I mean the defense definitely the star of the game. The
Yeah.
defense was nasty, especially in the first half. I mean, it really in both in the whole game, but the first half especially, they were just running downhill and just smashing Michigan really hard.
Yeah. Well, and I would even say in the second half, again, they just got put in terrible positions. I mean, again, the muffed punt, they get a stop, they're coming off the field. Oh, wait, we're going to rough the kicker. I mean, they just got put in some really bad situations and still held on like crazy. Couple stats for us really quick. First downs in the game, 12 for Michigan, 22 for OU. Third down efficiency, I think this is the ball game right here personally. Third down conversions, 3 of 14 for Michigan. 3 of 14, OU 9 of 17. Um, we were also 1 for 1 on fourth down efficiency. They were 0 for 1. That was there at the end of the game. 408 total yards for Oklahoma, 288 total yards for Michigan. I mean, that's an impressive stat line. Rushing wise, this is a number for me. And look, we were saying this before the pod. I really hate when people say, well, if you take away that one play, right? Like I really do. But I mean, I think we can agree with as dialed in as the defense. The one massive play in the game is the 75-yard run that Haynes had, right? And we know he has that ability, but I mean, it was just awful defense. But with one play of 75 yards, they ended up with 146 rushing yards. With that, like if you defend that one play badly, give up 15 yards, then you take 60 off the board, they end up with 86 yards on the night. I
Yeah.
mean, just that's an incredible stat. Held him to 142 yards passing. We had 5 penalties for 48 yards. They had 3 for 31. We had 2 turnovers, obviously. They had none. And then time of possession, which this all came in the fourth quarter 32-11 for OU, 27-49 for Michigan, with like an 8 minute and 49-second drive to end the game. Like 15 plays, something just insane.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get the running game going enough to be serviceable. They're gonna have to definitely work on that.
Right.
Uh I thought the O-line played pretty well for run pass. I mean, there was a few plays where I think you could see a little bit of the youth of some of the guys show through. There was one play I can't recall. I think it was in the third or fourth quarter where they just didn't pick up the blitz, and it was an obvious blitz. So things like that. But I mean, overall, really, really well played game. The defense just was firing on all cylinders. And I think this is the if you go back and watch that 75-yard run, it's not good, but that's one of those plays where everybody on defense did their right job except two people. Like they really defended it well, and if Peyton Bowen or I think it was RSJ had really played where they were supposed to play on that play, then it's like you said, it's probably 10-15 yard play at most. Um, so I thought that they played really well, and I'll just say it, I'll be that guy. The officiating was awful, terrible. I mean, the time possession, really, this game felt like to me like OU was able to pretty much move the ball how they wanted, outside of a few exceptions, right? Um, at least they could move the ball. Michigan felt like they really couldn't for most of the game, and the one drive that really kind of got them rolling in the game was kind of gift wrapped by the refs.
Yeah.
Um,
The
I mean,
defensive holding penalty there early in
yeah,
the.
I don't know that I've ever seen called. Maybe once in all my years of watching football.
I have seen it called for sure. It's a rarely called play. What was really awkward about that call was it was a run play. And typically where it gets called is like on a screen where O linemen are releasing out, right? That you're not allowed to just reach out. I mean, even the guy on the broadcast said, "Look, if a guy is trying to engage in blocking, you are allowed to grab them as a defensive lineman. Like that's not against the rules." And he even said, really have no idea what they were calling. I mean, like he just that call was a terrible call. The no PI on anybody on the what was clearly a wide receiver coming off and blocking our defensive back, and then they throw the ball that direction, like to that receiver who screwed up and didn't have the play right, or Bryce Underwood didn't have the play right. Somebody didn't, and he's blocking our guy into the ground, and they went, "Oh yeah, there's no pass interference there." Like,
Well, and even the play right after the defensive holding, they got like a 15-yard run, and R. Mason Thomas is there to make the play, and the guy just rips his jersey off of him. I mean, is the reason that the play even happened. Like R. Mason Thomas, it should be in perfect position to at least push that guy to the sidelines. Probably still a gain, but not 15, 20 yards, or whatever it ended up being, and no flag. And I'm like, if you're going to call defensive holding on, like the biggest complaint. And again, it's weird to me because I feel like, and maybe this is something, maybe this is where my ignorance comes in because I don't follow officiating. Um, but it was a Big Ten crew, and I felt like it
yes,
used to be when it was like two non-conference opponents, they would get a crew from an
another
unbiased
conference.
from
Yep.
another conference. So that was strange to me. But I also saw another game today that was the same way, where it was,
Yeah,
I think Texas maybe had a SEC crew or something like that
that's
that they were talking
correct.
about.
Yeah, and the Ohio State and the Ohio State game is an SEC crew. That's correct.
Yeah. So anyway, that wasn't good. So like I'm willing to kind of give them a little bit of a breather on that because that whole drive felt like that was more the refs than the defense playing poorly. Um, but yeah, I mean you're right. They got put in a bad position and they held Michigan to a lot of field goals.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they really did not let Underwood. He had maybe a couple of plays where he really got loose, but for the most part, they contained him and they were not did not let him throw the ball where he wanted
Yeah.
to throw the ball.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
And
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was just saying, and we were talking about this in the Discord. There was like they were showing on the broadcast. There was a couple of times that there was a busted coverage, but and I
Yes.
was like, don't get me wrong, those things need to be cleaned up. But that's kind of a like on defense, if you can make it hard for the quarterback to make an easy throw, then it's still good defense, right? Like
Yeah.
you can see, especially against a freshman quarterback like Bryce Underwood. I think he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be
Oh
really,
gosh.
really
Yeah.
good. But you could see that he couldn't process as fast as he had people in his face. I mean,
Right.
he was getting people in his face before he could see that guy coming open, and he just had to throw the ball up.
Oh, 100%. Like the wheel route one that they ran with that tight end. I mean, great call. It's there. We bust. Um, and yet, he can't see it because the pressure's on him, and he's just got to make a throw.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, look, Bryce Underwood is a star. He is a star. And here's the other thing. I think if they had anything of a backup quarterback, I think they turn him loose like we did Mateer. Like, here's another thought for a second. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I guess I'll ask you the question to see if I'm wrong. You think they run Mateer like that if they don't have Michael Hawkins over there on the sidelines?
No.
And so, an unsung hero in this is Michael Hawkins, who picked up the offense and has made the coaching staff feel very confident in his abilities in this offense and what's going on there, right? If you don't have that, I don't think you run Mateer as much as he did. He took some licks tonight, and that's
Yeah.
again that defense of Michigan is physical, and we knew that coming in. But dude, they laid some wood on some guys tonight for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough, I mean, just a physical game. Um, they gave our O line everything they could handle. I mean, credit to the O line. I thought pass protection for the most part was really good. The
Mm-hmm.
run defense still is not fantastic, but
You
I
mean the
felt
run
like,
blocking? You mean run blocking?
sorry, run blocking was not good, but I'm willing to give them a little bit of leeway because Michigan has some dogs
Oh
on that
yeah,
defense. That their front seven's pretty nasty. And so I'm willing to give them a little breath on that. But I mean, the fact that Mateer was able to do what he did was just incredible.
yeah.
I mean, some of those throws, I don't know, like there's not many people that have come through even OU that have been able to make those throws. The throws he made on the run, like I said, the one to Satania was a crucial
Oh
one for one,
gosh, yeah, it was.
and two was just a dot. If he can, like you said, if he can get that kind of that floater ball learned,
Yeah,
then he's going to be lethal.
yeah. Look, I I don't want to say it because I'm so sick of people talking about how negative I am, and it drives me nuts when I'm the guy who kept saying this is a 9-3 football team all season long. But whatever. Um, but he does have to learn how to throw a deep ball that's got some real up and over to it. I mean, the ball that he throws to Keontez Lewis as he comes completely free is on a rope. And look, it looks beautiful, but it allows the DB that's covering who is a long rangy defender to jump and use his length to knock that ball down. Whereas if he floats that ball out in front of Kia, that's a touchdown. And that changed that drive. He had another one like that last week that we talked about. That if he has one that if he throws up and over, it's a touchdown, and instead he's throwing it on this line. And again, I'm no quarterback guru. I don't want to sit here and say that I understand feet position and yada yada yada. And I get all that. But watching some other guys that do all that stuff, their concern is that 3/4 kind of I say it this way: Mateer throws every single pass like a shortstop throwing a football. It's just out here, just slightly to. It's not true sidearm, but it's just right here, and it's quick and it's got zit. I agree. I don't know how when you're throwing like this, how do you get a ball to come over because he doesn't throw over the top, and I legitimately do not know if he has that throw in his bag. We haven't really seen it. Like even the ball to the best floater ball he had all night was that one to Barnes. That was the most arching ball he had all night. That one that he let the rush come to him and just dumped it right over the top to Javante Barnes on the outside. That's the only one. Um,
Well,
but
even the
it,
ball that he threw to, I don't remember who he wasn't Kanik. I don't remember who he threw it to, but you could just tell. I think he just has that throw it on a rope every time he can, just throw it as hard as he can. But it was like the tight end. I don't remember who it was, but one of our
oh
tight ends was coming across,
yep.
and it's like a 5 yard pass. And I mean, looked like he threw that about 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, still got to try to catch it, but I mean, it's like you ease up on that a little bit, you know. So I think that's a little bit of it. I think he just has a really strong arm when he's just throwing on a rope, and I think he just doesn't have confidence in that the floater ball. But yeah, the one to Barnes was great. But yeah, if he can learn that, like I said, I think he's going to be truly lethal. I think he's already
Yeah.
really, really good, but he'll be really lethal.
But dude, like fitness, the ball he threw early in the game to Burks on the sideline, just awesome. Which, by the way, Um, I am not throwing shade at Seth Fisher, who was on our pod previewing the game, but listening to him, he's been on some other podcasts with some other Michigan guys, all that stuff. Dude, the lack of respect for any of our wide receivers, and one guy that got called out by name a lot was Dion Burks. They got a guy Dion Burks. I mean, you know, Dion Burks only went for 7 catches for 101 yards tonight and a
Yeah.
and a tutty. So I just so happy for Burke because Burke's even talked about it. He grew up not far from Michigan, and they didn't offer him, they didn't recruit him. Even when we went in the transfer portal, didn't want him. And to get to play that squad and go for 7-101 is a heck of a night for him. So exciting for him, so cool for him. Great night. Um, I'm trying to think of we don't this is like literally on the fly. We were just like, dude, we got to talk about this game so we have no real flow. Defensively, anything I guess who really stood out to you mostly on defense? I'll ask that way.
Um, can I just say the D line? Stone a couple of times was just destroying people. Jaden Jackson, there was one point where he took the center and about threw
Oh
him into the
gosh, yeah,
quarterback.
just yeah, it was beautiful.
Um, super good performance from them. People were like talking about our Mason Thomas not having an impact. And I'm like, he was pretty consistently double or even there was even one play where he got triple teamed. So it's like I think they kind of had him circled. Um, but freed up the other guys. But I mean, I guess one guy that just to give you, if I had to pick one though, I'll actually say Omasigo, just because he hasn't got a ton of play yet, but I thought he played really, really solid when he's in the game. Him and Heineke both had extremely solid games.
Yeah,
It's funny, we were in the Discord and somebody was like, "Oh, they got the backups in." I'm like, you can't really view these guys as backups.
yeah,
Not the way that they rotate. They just do like full line shifts kind of thing. So it's like your ones and twos are basically your ones. Your two deep is going to be your ones. But Heineke, I thought played like an animal. And I just like I said, I think Omasigo played really, really well considering that he's so young and is stepping up. So
yeah, for sure. I thought Kobe played really good tonight. He made some just great plays on the night. But my two, number one, Corton Guillory. Dude, that kid's a baller, bro. That kid is a baller. Like he granted, I don't think Michigan has just world beaters at wide receiver, right? They're like Eric Singletary when we have to play Auburn is a dog. And we'll see what he
right.
does there. But even so, in that atmosphere, game day, all the stuff, just nails. And look, I have to make a public apology. My wife even called me out for it. Early in the game, I think it was like a 3rd and 2, something like it was very clear it was a running down for Michigan. And Heineke came running on the field. And look, Heineke has played fine. He was pretty soft against the run last week against Illinois State. Several times he's getting washed out of plays and just driven down the field, things like that. Um, and he came in. I was like, do not put this guy in the game right now. Don't do it. And dude, he had a night. He had a night. Made some big plays in the game. And so I apologize, Owen Heineke. You went and had yourself a night and looked really good. And the other guy that flashed for me didn't have a great night, but okay, I'm starting to see the light click a little bit. Is PJ Adebaraway? He had several times where he really did just kind of help collapse the pocket and really help create some pressure and make some trouble. There's nothing flashy to his game. He's just got those long arms and he just pushed his guy backwards. But against that team, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys stepped up. I think I want to say the one thing that you could see in this team, even though they had a couple of busts and stuff, they're very well coached. Having a guy like Heineke come in and shine, you just have so many guys that come in and they just know their job, right?
Yeah.
I think that that's evident is seeing the the level of coaching is just so high on defense. Um, and like I said, you just have freaks like like I said, David Stone, Jaden Jackson, both looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, PJ looked, I thought he had a better game than he's been having.
Yep.
Um, so there's just a number of guys you can highlight.
And Taylor Wine. Taylor Wine, man. That dude's a baller. I thought Marvin Jones also played really, really well. I mean, he had a couple plays where he just blew some stuff up and was all over it. Kendall Daniels, that big hit that he had out there on the screen early in the game was awesome. Um, dude, just a really, really great performance all the way around. Um, sorry, I'm trying to check. Uh, by the way, reading this tweet real quick, another note for tonight. OU had about I don't know, it seemed like they had 2,000 recruits in for this game this weekend.
Yeah.
They had a ton of high level guys in this weekend. Steve Wilfong just tweeted a little bit ago this said Oklahoma setting the standard high in quotation marks, standard high, with top recruits that visited for win over Michigan. With all the positive change surrounding the Sooners program, they've definitely got my attention, is a quote from one of the recruits that was there. It doesn't say who, um, but obvious that they really got the attention of guys tonight. And you got to think there's a couple guys that were really trending Oklahoma's direction, and negative recruiting was a big storyline in a lot of these guys' recruitment. You got to think that tonight opens the door for some of those guys to come back this way. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple weeks after this game.
Yeah, I'm very I mean, this was a game that we've talked about is I think it's crucial for both teams, but I would say maybe more crucial for OU given their schedule. Even though I didn't realize Jerome Moore's suspended for the next two games. Did you see that? Did you
Yeah.
hear that on the
Oh yeah. Yeah,
broadcast?
I knew that.
And
Yeah, because
he
that's
can't
been the
even he
talk all off season was that he's suspended for 2 games, but look at that. He just happens to not have to use it during the Oklahoma game. Oh, okay.
yeah, so he does have to play Nebraska, which I don't think they're that great, but anyway. Um I do think that I mean this was a game that I think changes. I shouldn't say changes, but it keeps you on the upward trajectory. Like you said, you just beat a good Michigan team. I am interested to see how they're going to do the rest of the season. But I do think they have some ballers. I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten or anything, but I think they're going to be good enough that they'll be ranked at the end of the season.
I mean, I
Uh,
think they've got a chance to be. I mean, I know Ohio State's great. I don't get me wrong. They're really good.
well,
But
Oregon
that's
looked really good today too.
yeah, I mean, I do too, but like look, Bryce Underwood's only going to get better. I think the receivers are only going to get Justice Haynes the real deal. Their O-line, as long as they can get better, um I think they've got a chance, dude. That defense is salty. I mean, they were really good tonight against this OU team. I thought their defense was really good. If they can just get the receivers and Bryce to start getting a passing game to come along, and again, maybe as they get later in the season, they're willing to run Bryce Underwood more. And if they do, then um, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not going to put it past them. I think that's a really good football team. They just have a young quarterback. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a big thing. I think that their secondary is suspect, which is going to give them fits against a team like Ohio State and Oregon
Yes.
if they ever have to play them. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's no dog on them. I think they're a really good team. I just think that they have some gaps. I think they're like a year away from being really, really
Yeah.
good. Um,
Yeah. Going to Michigan next year is not going to be fun for OU.
Yeah. Um, so we'll see. I think that they're like I said, they're a strong football team. So, getting a hallmark win like that and to kind of at the early in the season is good to try to pick up recruiting. Especially now, we haven't really talked about any of the other games this week. I don't know if you want to, but Texas looks beatable.
Oh gosh,
Um,
yeah.
it was kind of funny that they're still all of Twitter's like, oh, Arch Manning's back. Look at his stats. And I'm like, he still did not look great, honestly. Like he made a couple really good throws and he had a lot that were in the dirt. So
Well, did you see
anyway,
I just saw this before we got on the pod. Did you see the video clip on Twitter of him throwing and apparently wincing like really bad?
no.
Yeah, there's a camera shot of him making a throw, and as he lets the ball go, I mean, you just see his face go. "Ugh." I mean, he's just like ah, and so apparently maybe he's not healthy um in the shoulder, but I don't know. But yes, they look beatable. They're like yeah, they're not world beaters on offense right now.
I honestly feel after watching today, because a lot of teams still haven't played anybody. Like Georgia hasn't played anybody. I just want to look. What's the top 25 right now? Because I want to go through it real quick while we're just sitting here. Oh, AP. We're just gonna do AP poll.
Okay.
Ohio State, solid looking team, good looking team. Penn State, they looked good today, but they also played nobody. They haven't played anybody, and they don't play anybody, I don't think, until they play like Ohio
But
State.
they're going to be
So
really good. I mean, they're a really good football team.
LSU didn't look terrible
They're
today,
they're
but
good.
Clemson also looks like maybe a fraud. Georgia hasn't played anybody, but Georgia's Georgia. Miami, looks good. They're gonna have a test against South Florida. South Florida upsetting Florida today, so lost that pick.
Yeah.
Oregon, dude, Oregon just, bro. I
Oh,
don't know how Mike Gundy has a job. If he has a job at the end of the season, then OSU is the most unserious about football they've ever been.
yes.
Um, I mean, they looked better at every position, and they just look like even when they put their twos and threes in, they still look like they were just going to dominate Oklahoma State. So they look really, really good. Texas, I just don't. I'm just not buying it, man. I know I'm biased, but I'm not really buying it. I don't think Arch Manning is. I think he's going to be really good, but right now it's like he has not shown me anything that's making me. Besides him having Manning as a name, he hasn't shown me anything that make me be scared of him. Um, Clemson did not look good today. They had to fight back. They did look good in the second half, but they had to struggle to beat Troy. Notre Dame, I don't even remember who Notre Dame played. South Carolina, I think they won today. Illinois like ran up the score at the end, but Arizona State loses, Florida loses. Florida State dominated today, like 70 to nothing, I think. Florida takes the loss. Michigan loses. Iowa State wins just barely. SMU loses. I mean, there's a good chance that I think you should see OU catapult to the top 10 this next
Yeah,
poll.
I don't think they'll get that high up there personally, but I mean they made a statement. They made a
Yeah.
statement tonight, no doubt about it.
I mean, what I'm saying is when I list all the teams I just listed that are ahead of OU right now, the only teams that I'm really like, you play 10 games against them or whatever, that I'm really worried about you just getting stomped in a lot of them is probably Oregon and Ohio State.
Right.
Everybody else has looked a little shaky. Um, Georgia's not looked fantastic. I mean, a lot of the players that you normally would be up there that you'd be scared of have not looked just like world beaters. So anyway, I'm very happy that we have a team that now has two. We have an offense and a defense. That's new. We haven't had that in about a decade. Um,
Yeah.
so and you know what? Credit, somebody we haven't talked about. Credit to Ben Arbuckle because he really drew up
Yeah.
plays that really got Michigan out of sorts. Like I said, and even so, like we were talking about that Canic play, where
Oh
he
yeah.
Mateer throws. I mean, Canic was all over the field. To be honest,
Oh,
Canic had a great game.
he's a ball player,
Uh,
man.
Everybody was like dogging him a little bit about the like. I saw a couple of people on Twitter like, "Oh, Canic's gonna make the catch," and I'm like, "That's a nearly impossible catch for him to make in the end zone." And then the one where he was just, I mean, he was wide open, and with his speed, if you
Yeah.
can get him the ball, it's like I don't see a 180-pound cornerback taking him down easy if they can even
Well, he
catch him.
trucked a bunch of people tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks great. And again, as long as they quit, and tonight they did it. They kind of put him in that wing back position, that kind of wing stance, and they would let him come across and do some of that split zone stuff. But on the linebacker, the touchdown run that Herb Street pointed out on the broadcast was perfect. I mean, and dude, not only did he do it great, it was Barham that he had to go
Yeah.
head to head with. And dude, Barham is a freaking hammer. Like,
Yeah.
that's a business decision when you see that dude on the other side and you choose to go toe to toe. And Kanik did, man, and did a great job sealing him on that deal. And so, no, Kanik, again, I think if they continue to employ him as a slot guy and as an H-back kind of guy, he'll be great. I'm kind of shocked he didn't end up getting the ball in his hands as a running back a little bit tonight.
Yeah. I thought when they put him in there as like kind of that fullback position, I thought maybe they would do a little something with that. But um, here's a fun thing. Let's do this. Hang on. Can I see all the rankings at once? In passing yards, where do you think we rank nationally right now? No, it's
I
early in
mean,
the season, but
he went 400. What did he go tonight? What did I say? He went like two something.
290 or something.
I mean, he's probably 13.
Sixth.
Wow.
Now, maybe a little bit of concern. What do you think our rushing yards are?
His rushing yards?
What do you think our rushing yards are? I wonder if this is
Oh,
updated, actually. Let me see.
they're not going to be very good. I mean, we're only like averaging
Oh, this isn't
100.
updated. This isn't even updated. Hang on. Let me find one that is updated.
Well, I don't think they can update them yet because there's still so many games playing
Yeah,
out
which
right
by the way,
now.
UNLV got to win. I know Odom's not there anymore, but still.
Yeah, we got to go there a year
Yep.
ago and see the facilities and stuff, which was nice. Um, I mean, I know
We're ranked
Gutierrez.
45th in scoring offense, I think. Is that still like okay? Yeah, so they haven't updated them. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to update them until
Yeah,
tomorrow,
it'll be
probably.
tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be tomorrow.
But still, I mean, the offense is I Arbuckle, I thought, drew up a ton of plays that were able to get guys open, able to get really exploit their zone that they were running, um, and just kept them out of sorts. And I I was just impressed. Like I said, the play
Yeah.
calling was phenomenal. Mateer looked really good. And like I said, the O line, I just hope that they can figure out run blocking. If they could run block this team right now,
Right.
I right now it's like that's what's holding this back me back from saying this team is like a true playoff or SEC title contender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
you
would.
can't I mean even Herbie said it on the broadcast. It's like, look, you can't, especially when you get into the SEC schedule that OU's got to go through, you can't run Mateer 20 times in a game. Like
No.
he's gonna get beat down. And so I thought we ran him too much tonight. We kind of had to, but you can't do that week in, week out. So
But that's the concern, right? Is what you just said. You had to get it. I mean, he had 19 carries tonight. That
yeah.
is just too much. Now, look, overall, as much as I'm still not pleased with O line play tonight in the run game, you also started Fasusi for the first time ever. You started Michaela for the first time ever. Heath Ozeda, first time this season for him to get a start. And then Fabechi and then Simmons, first time to get a start. I mean, like, you literally took four of your five offensive linemen and replaced them from game one to game two. And so, and I would say those are the biggest other notes coming out of the game. How bad is Fasusi hurt? I think is a major question mark for this team moving forward. And then we know that Gentry Williams also went to the injury tent. He did not appear to come back in the game. So I'm really curious to see if Brent says anything about it in the post game. What's going on there? But that would be a big, big loss for this team as well.
Yeah, just to run through some other stats real quick. Leading tackler, I want you to guess who that was.
It might be Heineke.
Heineke. Heineke with 7, Kip with 7 or 6, Peyton Bowen with 6, Kobe with 5, Dominic Williams, who also had a phenomenal game,
Yes, he did.
5, and RSJ with 5.
Uh,
So, um, yeah, I mean, this team is. I think it's really weird to say you win by 11 points, but like we've kind of highlighted, this team is just really good. They need to clean up some of the mistakes, especially special teams. Like, dude, just like that was
yeah,
horrendous. Um, that really hurt us. And just shooting yourself in the foot with some of the dumb penalties they had. Not a greatly officiated game, but some of them it's like they're roughing the kicker call. I'm like, that was just a
yeah,
dumb move. Um, so you got to clean some of those things up. But the fact that they went through all that and still were able to win
right.
by 11 is telling.
Yeah. I mean, this
Um,
is this is that old basketball or really any sport, but I mean, when you can play poorly in a lot of different ways and still win a game, and especially against a legitimate like opponent, like beating Illinois State with 4 turnovers or something wouldn't matter. Like, okay, great, whatever. But a team of Michigan's caliber with Bryce Underwood on the other side to lose a turnover battle, to lose a special teams battle, missing field goal, dropping touchdown, dropping third down. I mean, gosh, that one ball to Satania early in the game that would have extended a drive and instead goes off his hands and nearly becomes an interception. Goes incomplete. You have to get the ball back to them. I mean, like so many little moments like that that could have just turned the game a completely different way.
yeah, I mean, you clean up a couple of those things, and I think this game's 35 to, 10 or whatever. I mean, um, really, really, like I said, there's just so many guys to highlight. I think they played really well. I really like that another thing that I was just a little concerned of, we were kind of talking about in the Discord a little bit. Back when BV was at OU before, there was a tendency when you get later in the game to kind of play a softer defense. It was really more prevalent under Mike Stoops, but they just kept their foot on their throats. I mean, I know it was a closer game, but it's like they still just were. I didn't really feel that the game plan shifted that much.
Right.
Um, so I feel like and you know what? I another thing that I noticed was especially the first half, OU's defense looked fired up and Michigan looked a little dazed. I think that's a big factor in this game is that I thought Michigan in that first quarter or first half looked like they were a little shook. I think they were a little bit, I don't know. They just didn't look like they had the energy that OU had. I think I punched in the mouth a little bit and didn't know how to respond at first. Now, if they came out in the second half and were able to do some things, but outside of that, I really feel like OU's defense kept that edge most of the game.
Yeah. No, totally agree. Totally agree. Well, look, this just instant reaction kind of stuff here, just off the cuff, trying to put some things together. We'll definitely have a pod later in the week. By the way, we have a pod that'll be out later this week with someone who covers the Temple Owls. I know you guys are all fired up about that one, and you want the inside track on what's going on with Temple. But still, really excited. Podcast over there called Owl Be Back for the Temple Owls, and he's going to be joining us again. It's going to be great. And we also just secured. We're going to do. There's a podcast called the Ward Report, and they're going to be on with us as well to preview the Auburn game in 2 weeks. So got some good stuff coming up. So definitely be looking for more this week as we move that direction. Huge win tonight. Celebrate it. Enjoy it. But Jared's over there on East Coast time. He's got to get some sleep, get some things done. But man, thanks for joining us for a little bit post game reaction. We're having a great time. We hope you are too. That's Jared. I'm Daryl, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye, Baker.